I'm big home. I'm big home. I'm big home. My young niggas call me big home. I'm big home. I'm big home. In the hood.
Yo, I'm back. Industry Energy. I'm back. Today I got a special guest. You know what I'm saying? As my man would say, the myth, the legend, legendary, honorable. Right. You know, he needs, no introduction because he is who we are and are who he is. Man, the legendary Fred Ward, man. What's up, man?
What's up, love? What's up,
man? Appreciate you for pulling up on me, man. This is legendary right here, man.
Man, I had to come, man,
For sure.
I ain't showing up for everybody, but I got to show up for you.
That's for sure. Hey, G, they say G don't do no podcast. They say G do not do podcasts and interviews and none of that.
Intellectual property.
There you go.
No.
So that means, hey, Industry Energy hold a special place,
Oh, ain't no mystery.
There you go.
I like this. This is good work right here.
Yeah, appreciate you, GG. What's going on, man? How you doing, man? What you got going, bro?
Man,
Where do we start?
That's what I'm trying to figure out because there's so many different buckets of work.
Okay.
But right now I'm really like 10 toes down and like really, sharing this information I found about like felons, man. People with felony convictions, that's the bulk of my work right now. It's criminal how, people that got felony convictions, whether they've been to the joint or not, how the barriers, that they face after they done did their time and paid their debt to society. Paying that debt is an illusion. And so, I really think, like, I've been watching a lot of movements transpire, Black Lives Matter, Me Too movement. I really think it's time for a movement for people that's been impacted by, felony convictions. I think it's our time to rise.
So,
So.
What you got in plan? Far as for I've been hearing a few things like as far as like what you got in plan for that. What's the
So really, I like to do the research first, and I realize that a lot of people don't even know like what collateral sanctions are or collateral consequences, right? So, me, I'm always testing the water, so I'm going through talking to politicians, council people, just street folks that I know, got felonies on their record, and I'm asking them like, what collateral sanction, collateral consequence? They're like, no, what is it? I'm like, damn.
Because I didn't know.
Right. And so, like, let me explain what it is, right?
Exactly.
So collateral sanctions is the extended barriers that one face after they complete, their incarceration or whatever type of parole or probation consequence that the courts lay down on you. And it's forever. And so, like, in Ohio, it was like 800-something collateral sanctions. And so as I started talking to people about what these things are, they start, because a lot of times people experience stuff and they won't know the word for what they're going through, like that's racism,
right.
But they know that they done been impacted by it, right? So as I'm telling people what this demo is, they like, man, my daughter, was a victim of crime, and when I was supposed to get the victim of crime money, they said I couldn't get it because I'm a felon. I'm like, what? I said, that shit ain't right, And then, even me, right? I've been home. I've been home damn near 23 years without incident.
Whoa.
That's major.
Right.
That's major league,
That's
right?
Major. Congratulations.
And I'm still naive, lightweight, because I done mess around. I done work with juveniles, going to the adult penitentiaries, and so I realized, like, a lot of times when folks coming home, they need a safe, healthy environment to come down to,
Okay.
And so housing was a big issue for people coming home, whether they was adults or juveniles. They was coming back into a lot of toxic environments. Mm-hmm. And so I say, we need some housing. So I said, we're going to go ahead and do some transitional housing. Okay. So I mess around and I facilitate a relationship with, the foundation and county land bank. So I'm putting the houses together. So I said, I got to go get my certification.
Right.
So I go pay for me and two other people to go get certified.
Right.
We go through the class. Lady talking about, oh, this is so wonderful. I love what y'all, doing with this house stuff.
So you go to the class?
I go to the class.
To get certified?
Go through the whole class. Class over with. We finished.
Oh,
graduation time. And then she hit me with the, the code. Okie doke.
What's
She
that?
she say, man, you know, if you got a felony, you can't get transitional housing, you know, for 10 years. These felonies indefinite. These is 10 years, 5, 7. I'm like, damn, what kind of shit is that? And I was on that list too.
So they won't let you do transitional housing if
Yeah.
you got a felony.
Yeah, and then so watch this. So so I tell some folks, some people be talking, no, I know a way around it. Even the lady said she knew a way around it. But like I tell them, I say, even though I got a felony conviction, I'm a little crafty, right? So I ain't something. I can still move. I can still snatch this illusion of an American dream, But I ain't talking about me. A lot of the stuff that I fight for, it ain't because of me. It's because it's others that ain't gonna have the tenacity to take that long route like I'm gonna take.
Right,
So
right.
So I said, I know it's a way out, but I want the wall down.
Okay.
So we ain't got to worry about somebody hooking you up or showing you how to go through the back door. Just knock the door off the hinge and they can come through the front.
Right, for sure.
That's
for
how
sure.
I look at it. Yeah.
For sure. So how far along is with this program, and how far is we getting? Is we getting any progress, and what's the next move for?
Yeah. We making progress. So I'm part of an organization called BFO. BFO is Building Freedom Ohio.
Okay.
And so it's across the state of Ohio. I took on the task to actually build out this model for people that's been impacted by felony convictions. That's our base.
Okay.
And so I've been going to different cities, Columbus, Youngstown, Dayton, Cincinnati, Akron, Canton, talking to brothers, Cleveland the home base all
Right,
day.
for sure.
So I'm definitely talking to the brothers and sisters down here get up, stand up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I found is that, man, in every city, we ready.
For sure.
People ready to, be a whole citizen again.
Right.
And be able to fully participate in all the economic opportunities that, Ohio, America got to offer.
Right.
And so, once they come to understand what it is, and, we allow them to see, the strategic steps that we can take to actually, knock down these barriers and these walls, they with it. And so how it go. Some of us gonna come in on the front line. Some gonna wait for the train to be moving, and then they gonna jump on board.
Right.
But hey, it's all good.
Right. For
Cause
sure.
everybody can't do every lift.
Right.
So so I start with mighty men and women first, and I work my way down to the followers.
Jeezy, man. So far as we gonna do the BFO, right? That's the name of it. So we looking at not just Cleveland, it's the whole Ohio.
State of Ohio.
Okay.
And it got to be the state of Ohio. And I'm gonna tell you, it can't be just a black thing either, because African Americans 22% population across Ohio, and I look at this. Let me put it I don't know. You ever watched the Game of Thrones?
No, I ain't never watched.
Man, you gotta watch the Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, raw Pete.
Right.
Hey, so one of the things I take away from the Game of Thrones, right, is that they had this army of the dead. Army of the dead raw dog.
Right.
Yeah, when they kill you, they not only kill you, you come back dead, and you part of the army too, right?
Whoa.
So can't no particular kingdom beat them. You can't beat them individually, right?
Okay.
And so so this whole storyline was they got all the kings together, and these kings beefing. This like some street shit.
Right.
They beefing. They I'm king of the north. And then,
Okay.
king of the south. They've been killing each other for decades.
Right,
But
right.
dude pull up and say, hey man, it's an army of the dead coming that ain't none one of y'all gonna beat on your own. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have to come together to beat this army of the dead. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And they don't believe, so they bring one of them, and show what it really is.
Okay.
This Joker is real life powerful.
Okay.
And so when I think of that, I think of different cities, even different neighborhoods and hoods, factions. We have a tendency to have historical beefs for whatever reason, but to be able to remove these collateral sanctions off felons, whether they, ain't never been to joint, they hiding somewhere in the workforce, realizing that they can't become a nurse or they can't really, get past this glass ceiling because they know They got that felony 20, 30 years ago when they was young and dumb.
Right.
You know, we got to come together. We
to.
need them white folks down in Chillicothe. We need Akron and Canton and Lorain and, you know, and all them other little hick towns in them 88 counties we got in Ohio to stand up because it's a numbers game.
For sure.
And so I'm looking for white felons too.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
So the
Yeah.
program is for all felons,
Yes.
women,
Yeah.
men,
Ain't
no
no
matter your
Shit, it's gonna bring fellas. It's gonna bring gay fellas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Transgender fellas. It's gonna bring them to the table at some point too.
Right.
You know, you know, you really got to be able to think past the box and your own, you know what I'm saying, comfort zone.
I just learned something from you being here right now, G.
Yeah, it's cold, man. You know, but that's part of that public space.
Okay,
You know?
for sure. So, is it far as and you got an event coming up in Columbus? Could you give us a little insight on that?
Yeah. So, you know, just trying to think through this, man. You know, when you start, so you get the private life and the public life, right? I come to learn this a little while ago, and so my public self is, you know, where I have to have that public life, right? I got to move, you know, publicly, right?
Right.
And my private life just be me and you kicking it, you know, sipping in poverty. That's what I like.
Okay.
But in the public space, you know, so we gathering all these folks together, you know, to go down to Columbus. And so, like, when it comes to, like, so a lot of people think, like, some movements happen off a trigger.
Okay.
Like, you know, you could, you know, like Rodney King, you know, they jump Rodney King, people see it. It's time to set it off.
Right.
You know, and even George Floyd had a trigger piece to it, too, because, you know, you looking, you bearing witness to it, and it ain't sitting well. It's time to do something.
Right.
But some movements come through straight strategy, right? And so this is a strategic movement, right? Because we ain't got that trigger, right? You know, and hopefully we don't get that trigger, you know, so we got to set it off. But as far as the strategy game, so we know, like, a lot of people was uneducated about, like, the impact that felons have once they done paid their debt to society.
Right.
And it's actually a disservice to, you understand, society, because a lot of problems the cities face, whether it's violence, gangs, and all this other stuff, right? A lot of people that get felony conviction could actually weigh in and help solve them problems. But because they've been disadvantaged and ostracized and excluded from, like, main society, you know, they just don't even care or consider, you understand, to even help. Right. So it's a benefit to actually making felons back whole citizens again too. Because then we'll feel a part of something and we might decide that we're going to help solve some of this stuff.
That's big right there.
That's really big.
That's big.
Right. And so so the first thing we got to do is educate. So May 22nd is a Sunday. We just coming from all over the city, all over the state. And that's just like a meet and greet. We had dinner together, you know, introduce ourselves to each other, because a lot of us doing a lot of amazing work like you doing, you know, Wall Street West, you know, we got brothers all over in every city doing some amazing positive work. And so, like, you know, we want them to meet each other, you know, get a vibe in. But then Monday, we go to work because it's about storytelling. And right, in the organizing space, we talk about story of self, story of us, story of now. Like, you got a story, and sometimes, you know, your story need to be crafted, because your story is a 5-week long demonstration, right? Just to try to, but we ain't got 5 weeks. So a lot of times, as a science, we figure out how you take certain pieces of your life story and carve it into a script that's toward, you understand, what we intended to accomplish. Right? And then we go story of us, because you got a story and I got a story.
Right.
And so now, once we together, now it's beyond Fee's story and my story. It's our story. So what do we have that relate? What brought us together? Besides, you know, we like real trill, street, certified motherfuckers, right? You know, because, you know, we age gap, but it's a chemistry that we got.
For sure.
Because we got a certain language and a certain principle.
For sure.
All right, but then we got story of now. Now it's 2022. We love each other's principle. We understand each other's story. But what we gonna do now? You know, and right now, you understand, we getting kicked in our ass, felons. We can't have license to carry. We can't own no dispensaries. You understand? That's generational wealth. So we blocked out a generational wealth. You understand? We can't get certain certifications, certain jobs. We got glass ceiling, glass doors, glass floors, walking on pins and needles, and we tired.
Okay.
So we say, damn, so why don't me and Fees and the other brothers and sisters that's stuck in the same bucket, right? Why don't we come on and do something now? And so, so Monday we're going to gather a lot of folks that got powerful stories of inequitable processes, right? That done affected their life, that changed the trajectory of how they could have been on top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And winning. You know what I'm saying? They still struggling and talking about they can't get a good job and they can't get housing and all that. Hey, man. So we're going to come together and we're going to share them stories with like the Lieutenant Governor. We asking the Lieutenant Governor to come on Tuesday. And we also going over to the State House because we're going to educate the legislators on how these policies have impeded us from being able to fully participate in society and actually, help society be a better place.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And they might not ever thought about it like that, but when we bring certain brothers and sisters and they share them stories, it allow them to rethink.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because what happened, what you hear and just explaining the situation to me, I gotta, and I know the audience gonna catch it more too by you explaining it. I pretty much understand where you coming from with the whole concept of it's to help our felon brothers and sisters, get themselves back together.
As they should.
As they should.
As they should, man. I'm talking about, man.
That's an incredible movement. I'm in.
Yeah, I know you in.
For sure.
I know you in because you love a good fight.
For sure.
And this
that's something to fight for.
Yeah,
it is.
And as people understand like what this fight about, I'm gonna
that's the key.
Yeah, because I talk to people who ain't never been incarcerated. Republican, Democrats, white, black, Asian, rich, poor, and you know what they say? They say, damn. They say, well, why would you even let them out of prison if you ain't gonna let them, make it?
Whoa.
Or give them a shot to make it. And I said, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of times people that ain't even been impacted by felons, when they hear, because they don't know.
They don't know.
Auntie don't know. Auntie think you just lazy because you ain't got that job. Yep. But she don't know, the job you really certified for, you know what I'm saying? They blocking you on that. Yep. So now they want to give you a job that they ain't even got a living wage. And, you can't even make it. You done spend 40 hours a week grinding, but shoot, you can't even pay your rent still.
Ooh, that's what's going on.
So force the hustle. It's a term. It's a term that's connected to collateral sanction called civil death. We've been convicted to civil death.
Explain that a little bit.
Civil death heavy, man. Civil death so strong.
Civil death.
Civil death is like the barriers that you encounter after you completed your sentence, right? Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people, through their own naivety, they think like, man, I paid my debt to society, man, I should be able. No, you just uneducated. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't understand the trap, right? The trap is laid, right? And you're unaware.
Right.
But we got to make people aware that like civil death, man, look it up. Everybody got smartphones, right? Mm-hmm. In the medieval times, which we call the Dark Ages, they say that once you was convicted of civil death as a felon, people could kill you with impunity, which means your life wasn't worth nothing, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of this play off on things that we see today. We just ain't got the names connected. And then up under civil death, they got another term. They say people, you understand, outlawry, the outlaw. You know what I'm saying? They say, so once you get collateral sanction and you've been convicted of civil death, you understand, since you know that you can't participate and function in society as a regular human being, you understand, you look for other ways and means to capture the American dream, right? And in doing that, you create that whole underworld economy, you understand, that other mindset, that subterranean mindset of how you got to do what you got to do.
Brings on the thugging and this.
And the gang.
Is it true that they created that?
Oh,
that's what it seems like.
America made it. America. See, that's why you think you can't solve the problem. You can't solve the problem because guess what? The problem's entwined in the whole script. They don't want to reset it.
Solve that problem.
No, for them to solve the problem, they got to change.
Whoa.
They got to change the way they look at society. They got to change the way they look at us. and all this equity and inclusiveness and, and racial equity and all these old beautiful terms. The only way you're going to get an equitable society is if you understand, back up off that free slave, indentured servant labor.
Slave labor.
And allow people that have made a mistake in their life to be able to resume. We're going to quit playing with words to all that returning citizen. No, you ain't returned as no citizen. You returned as a slave. You understand? See, we play with words a lot, man. That's why we can't get nothing done. That's why we can't never, we chase. It's like we going to chase darkness out the room. Right. You'll be doing that for the rest of your life, chasing darkness out the room. You ain't got to chase darkness. All you got to do is turn on the light. Click the switch.
Ew.
You know?
That's cold right there.
Darkness gone.
Darkness gone. Gee.
Not
wow. And as far as the I want to get to talk a little bit about the center, your center, the Kinemu group.
Yeah.
I rode through there, man. I seen a bunch of people out there probably about 30 days ago. And looked like y'all had something major going on in there, man. Could you talk about some of the functions that y'all have up there?
Yeah, it's true. It's it's a hell of a navigation, man. Being out here because the world is set up with a lot of contradictions, and a lot of times we got to navigate the contradictions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's odd. So I guess a lot of the work that we do is we got like a theory of change.
Okay.
It's about we got a theory of change of how can we really make society a better place? How can we really curb violence? How can we really invest in these young brothers that's getting bonded over and going to adult penitentiary at a very young age? How can we do that, right? And that comes with a lot of thought, because it's layers to this.
Okay.
And then we also trying to stay free because
Sure.
being part of that bureaucracy, man, you can't get nothing done. I hate system thinking.
Yeah.
But it exists, And and so a lot of the work that we do is really trying to get with brothers and sisters that, doing good work, sending out good positive messages, and trying to see how we monetize that, right? Because they probably doing it for free, but they still need to survive and, take care of their families. So based on identifying so many problems in so many cities throughout Ohio, and a lot of the problems ain't different, they're the same, we try to come up with some very positive, holistic solutions, right? And create we can operationalize them, because the game is to operationalize them and then institutionalize them.
Okay.
Right? So that we can duplicate it. I talk to brothers in Youngstown, they got violence intervention program. I go to Columbus, they got violence intervention program, stop the killing, they got all that. Now Cleveland got it too, OG call, no smoke. And I'm like, let's sit at the table.
Right.
Because, the system, the government got problems. City government got problems.
Right.
And if we got solutions, then we should be able to come to the table and see what work and what don't work and what maybe need a little adjusting. And if that's the case, the way I think, big bucket, I'm like, we should just all sit together collectively and flush it out and see what actually worked, what's the best model, and duplicate it across city. Offer it to all the mayors and all the county execs and the governor as well. And carve out our piece of this pie.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So the whole BMF platform is just laid
BFO.
out.
I know it's a tricky word.
Yeah. BFO.
Yeah.
To be able to go to the state top dogs and lay it out for them.
It ain't hard. They reachable. Cause they got problems. They got
problems.
They got billions of dollars, and they got problems. But people in power want to, they want to always feel as if they get a little uncomfortable if they don't know. Because when you in power, you actually assume to know.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people equate knowledge with, finance. Like, what I'm saying? Like, you got that bag, then you got to know. But you could just really have the bag and don't know shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
and you need to pay somebody to actually, that's why a lot of times rich folks got a lot of smart folks around them.
Yeah, true.
You know, and I think we the smart folks, even if we ain't the rich folks, and that should be a relationship where we draw from the well.
For sure.
You know.
For sure. Wow, G. Man, BFO. Get in tune. BFO.
Get involved.
Get involved.
Yeah, we if we ain't in your city, we coming.
For sure. BFO. You know, Fred, that's a great platform, man. We at Industry Energy, man. We support. You know, we've been rocking with you, man, way before this here. But you know, we support BFO at Industry Energy. For sure.
Industry is this is it. This is divine.
For sure.
You know, and it's a lot of felons in the industry.
Yes, it is, man.
Yeah,
a lot of felons done been in here.
Yeah,
That's,
but
you know,
that's the storyline.
But the great part about it, they all, you know, what's going on now that I like to see is people trying to be woke and they won't change.
Yeah.
You know, it's more versus I could say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's more people woke and on what they eat and their toothpaste
Yeah.
and I'm hearing water and so it's more people that's, you know, getting there. We still got a long journey to go.
But we on the path though.
We definitely on the path.
Yeah, I'm loving it,
Definitely
man.
on the
I'm
path.
loving it.
Yes,
I love that young energy too, man.
For sure.
You
man.
know, I don't want
Just keep creating. We just want to keep creating and going in. You know, just stay positive and doing what we can do to help somebody else. You know,
to
one
do
of
what
our
we want
brothers.
to do.
For sure.
We can do what we
Freddie G.
will to do.
Freddie G.
You know what I mean?
Pull up on me.
Yeah.
You know.
They got a saying in Hebrew. It say, "Aisha, Ayah, Aisha," and it means I will be what I will to be. We can be whatever we will to be.
We can be whatever.
We are only limitation.
Sure.
You know, and many folks, you know, they know that, so they're gonna spend a lot of time trying to create them bridges between us, because they know that if we ever cross, right, and really see the uniqueness of our connectedness, right? Hey man, we
So.
do whatever, realize.
World, yeah.
And I'm just hopeful, man. Everybody don't believe in the future.
They don't, bro.
I'm telling you, some people
just hit something.
It's hard to move a motherfucker.
They don't.
If they don't
some
believe,
people
like,
don't believe in the future.
but I'm telling you,
Whoa.
hey, a lot of people, and I'm talking about even people with the bag.
Yeah, I know.
They be like, man, this is it. This is just all. This is all there is. And so when you got a person that don't believe in the future, and don't believe in something greater than what's in the now, man, it's almost impossible to move their ass.
Yes, it is, bro.
One of the
One of
the biggest foundational points of movement is a person got to believe that tomorrow can hold something better.
Wow.
You know,
That's
so you know,
amazing
just
right
you know,
there.
yeah, right. So I believe,
I believe.
even if I don't see it in my lifetime,
Yep.
you know, I'm one of the ones that build the pyramids and don't even see it finish.
Yep.
You know, I don't trip. A lot of people want to know. Well, a lot of people want to know in the beginning
Yeah.
what the end look like. Hey man, if I do this, you know what's gonna be. Hey man,
You know,
do it because duty is ours, results of God's. Do it because you're supposed to do it.
Do it because you're supposed to do it.
You know, whatever the outcome is, don't really trip. As long as you know that you did everything you're supposed to do.
That's called.
You know,
It's called strip right there.
you know, that's what I live by.
Shout.
You know, but I love this, man. I hope I'm coming back on this show.
For sure. It's
I've
the
been
first of
listening.
many, man.
Listen to them young brothers and sisters.
You know,
Talent, man.
I've been getting them through here, man, trying to just chop it up with them and give them what I can give them.
I love
The ones that want it. It's a lot of them that don't want
Yeah,
to
right.
do nothing different. Or
Yeah.
know. Well, they kind of like what you just said. They don't believe in the future.
They sit in the cut though. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
It don't happen at the same time for everybody.
Okay.
You know, you got the ones that they'll act like they ain't listening to industry energy, right?
Yeah.
But they got it on though. You know,
Right.
It take a minute for them to crack.
Right.
And that's cool.
That's cool too.
Keep watching.
Keep watching.
We're gonna keep showing.
Cause we're gonna keep showing and we're gonna keep working.
Yeah. I'm
Columbus,
down.
we on the way.
Yeah.
You know?
And if you got a felony, and whether you've been incarcerated or not, and you know they dogging you, and you know you getting, 1/5 of what you're supposed to get, once you back. Hey man, come on, connect with us. I know I ain't hard to find,
Sure.
but get with us, man. And hey, we ain't selling nothing. You know, so don't worry about having to buy nothing, but we're gonna talk to you. You know,
BFO Spring Retreat. You know what date it is, G?
it's May 22nd. We touching down, just a meet and greet. But Monday we putting in that work. Tuesday we gonna share our story with them politicians and legislators.
For sure. We got Columbus tapped in, Akron, Toledo,
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah,
What's that
Dayton.
boy you had? Dayton.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Shout out. What's your dude you had on the phone? Styles. Shout out to Styles out there in
Styles,
Akron.
we out of
Man.
AK. I got my man Shimmy.
Shimmy,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Wheel down in Youngstown putting in major work.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what I'm saying?
Shout out to
26
all them
years
boys.
out. Yeah.
We popping it off, man. I see y'all on the 23rd.
Yeah, right. Just
For sure. And man, we're gonna definitely go out there, man. And with them, I want to ask some with them politicians, right? When we go out there and we lay our demonstration down, how do we go about? I mean, where at what point will we be able? So you telling me we got to get up there and lay our demonstration in front of them?
Yeah. That's one part of the game. The second part is that you got to register to vote because voting is a strategy.
Yeah.
Now
yes,
I ain't
it
gonna
is.
never say that we ain't got ancestors that died for our right to vote because I'm concurring with that.
Okay.
You know, but voting is a strategy when it comes to civics, right? And people in power only want to stay in power, and people in power talk to people in power. So we need power so they make sure they hear what we're saying, right? But it's another thing about power. When people in power dealing with groups, they want to know one or two things. They want to know whether you got enough power to take them out of power, or whether you got enough power to keep them in power.
Whoa.
Right? And so what I would suggest is that, hey man, and I don't ask people to register to vote if I don't give you some civic education. So if you want to understand the strategy of voting, hey, get with us. We do civic education classes, so we'll let you know in clear black and white why your vote matter and why it's strategic for you to cast it, right,
Sure.
for the right person. And it's a numbers game. From governor to president to council person, you know what I'm saying, to county exec, it's a certain amount of numbers, right? And just to lay the spread for you so you clearly understand, the math in Cleveland from on the east side, wards 1 through 10, we done watched it over the last consistent 8-10 years. It's 133,000 registered voters on the east side of Cleveland, that's wards 1 through 10. And out of that 133,000 registered voters, only about 30,000 plus ever show up to vote. That ain't even the ones that ain't registered. These are the ones that's registered but disengaged because they just don't give a damn, right? That leave 102,000 registered voters that's disengaged and don't feel the need to go out and cast their vote, that's just sitting idle. And I'm telling you that, hey, the mayor's race that control $1.8 billion, county exec race that got another $1.8 billion. You understand? Talking about the bag. We ain't even voting. And we was just and out of that, I'm trying to find out how many people with felony convictions is within that, because the beautiful part about it, in Ohio, you can be a felon and vote. You know, other states sometimes don't even allow you to vote. Florida just overturned that. Right? They couldn't even vote in Florida because they had a felon. You know what I'm saying? That's how heavy it go, man.
And that's another thing too, as far as like the voting thing. Industry Energy, man, we want to definitely educate more of our artists, our people on that voting, on how important that is. Voting.
I need me some rap songs. I need some of them young artists to come sit down. I need to download some of this fat. Give me, I need a rap out of this.
And bring it, man. You know, go vote. How would you start the fire off? No, but you know, I had a lawyer, man. The guy had been a lawyer for 20 years, man. He running to be a judge.
Yeah.
And when as I talk to him, I keep building with him. I'm communicating with him. I'm learning more. And he telling me the same thing you just said. Like,
man,
we don't vote
hey, man.
at all. The inner cities don't. It's kind of to the point to where they made it to where they say we don't care about politics and certain stuff like that. You know, they kind of done put that in the books for us and wrote it off.
That can change though, you know. I mean, and so we do the counter, right? Because it was a judge that was running, and we liked the platform he was on. So, you know, we supported him and backed him, and he won. And so one of the first things that he did was he sent us an email like, hey, you know, I'm in so-and-so courtroom. I'd love for y'all to come. Thanks for, you know, supporting us, supporting me to this win.
Okay.
And then he was like, you know, he offered us to be able to come to his courtroom and check out, you know, how he do court cases and, you know, even willing to talk to us afterwards about some of them criminal cases. So I'm showing my guys, like, imagine this. Well, you know, we all got felons. I said, we got a judge sitting up here, you know, because we put that power down for him and he won. He willing to, you know, open the books and he want to get a good report card grade from us.
See.
But a lot of times, y'all remember, y'all go see that Black Road, y'all got your head dug down, then dragged your mom and auntie out the house to dress up, trying to act like y'all straight family man. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that's going to get you 2-3 years off. That's it. Hey, stop, man.
Sure.
Put all that drag, man. Power, man. This ain't nothing but a conversation about power.
Power.
Because power is, by definition, the ability to have people do what you want them to do. And powerlessness is the inability to be in control over your life or your circumstance. So if you sitting out here, ain't got no control over your life, and ain't got no control over your circumstance, getting kicked in that butt, you powerless. And we ain't got to talk about a lot of stuff. All we really got to talk about is how to get you some power. And it's power in different forms. Now, you can grab that gun, that's power too. But you might go to jail or you might get knocked down with the gun. Money is power, but a lot of us ain't got that money. And a lot of times, some of us trying to get that money, get us locked up or get our dough kicked in, get the goons coming at you. You become a target, all that, right? And then capacity is a form of power, too. The beautiful thing about capacity as a form of power is you ain't got dudes looking to break in your house because you're sitting with that bag. You understand? And you ain't, you understand, out here with them hammers about to get locked up. You understand? I have to do something, you understand, because you got it and you need to use it. So we just taking a different route. Sure. See, I'm actually the same guy, I just got a different methodology about how I go about. I've been wanting power since I was born. I started with the gun, started with the bag. Now I say, shit, some of that shit is traps.
Yeah.
So now I'm messing around playing with them numbers.
There you go.
You know, I still want some power, though.
Still want some power.
That's some game.
We still in the same boat.
In that order.
Freddie G, man. Fred Ward, motherfucking legendary Fred Ward, man, pulled up on Industry Energy, man. This one of the moments right here, you know, that define our direction. You hear me? You know, I appreciate that, man. Just, it's an honor for you to just even, you know, with your busy schedule, man, to pull up. On top of you don't even do podcasts and interviews.
Yeah, I don't.
So to pull up on me, bruh.
Oh, you my man. Straight love, though.
Straight love.
You know what I'm saying?
So, man.
Hey, man.
Appreciate you for pulling up, man. And this is just first of many, man.
Yeah.
You know, we got many more conversations, man.
I'm with you, man.
You
I'm on
already
speed
know how we
dial
go.
with the real ones.
So, my boy, appreciate
Salute.
you, man. We locked in.
Right.
Fred Ward. Yeah.
I'm big home. My young niggas call me big home. I'm big home. I'm big home.